All right. So we have been writing the transformations. We've been graphing, and we've been figuring out what transformations there are. Who's number 4? Okay. We have been doing this in a form that is called vertex form. So vertex form, you may have noticed yesterday when we were doing our notes, allows you to find the vertex by just looking at this right here. Vertex form says the number that is in this H spot and the number that is in this K spot is the vertex. But remember, for H it has to be opposite, and for K it is the same number because that one's horizontal. So that's how you find your vertex really quickly when it's in vertex form. If it is not in vertex form, you can't find your vertex quickly. Question. What does the front look like? Oh, okay. All right. So we are going to let the graph of G be a vertical stretch by a factor of 2 and a reflection in the x-axis, followed by a translation 3 units down of the graph of f of x equals x squared. We're going to write for the rule for G and identify the vertex. So this is the stuff we did in chapter 1. We're just getting more practice with it. So this should be review. However, in chapter 1, some of you still had some trouble with it. So this is good. Good to go over. So since this has lots of stuff happening, I'm not going to do it all at the same time. Where I have followed by, that's kind of where I'm going to divide this into 2 halves. And I'm going to have the first half like h of x. And then the second half, I'll use my g of x. We've done this before. So this says let g be a vertical. So I'm going to just look at vertical stretch by factor of 2 and a reflection in the x-axis. So h of x. How do I show a reflection in the x-axis? I put a negative where?
Wait, what? It's outside.
Okay, so we have some arguing.
Wait, what?
Can you guys talk to each other, not just all talk to me? I know the answer. Can you come to an answer? How many people think it's outside? How many people think it's inside? Oh. I don't know. How many people don't know? Okay. Okay. So everybody give me an x-axis and reflect something in the x-axis. Is this horizontal or vertical?
Vertical.
Is vertical on the inside or outside?
Outside.
So this is outside. We do the negative on the outside of the f of x. What about a vertical stretch by a factor of 2? Is that on the inside or outside? Outside, because it's vertical. So do I use 2 or a half? Bryce, do I use 2 or a half? Then you should probably be paying attention and taking really good. Just put it back up there and we'll figure it out later. Do we change anything for vertical?
No.
So is it 2? So I have to do that to the function. What is the function? X squared is the function. So I'm going to do that to the x squared. I'm going to have h of x equals negative 2x squared outside. That's halfway done. Now it says followed by a translation 3 units down of the graph. So my g of x is going to say take my h of x, and do we go outside or inside for 3 units down? It's going to be on the outside. Subtract 3. So I take my h of x equation, which is negative 2x squared, and then on the outside of that, subtract 3, and there's nothing else to simplify. I am done. So remember, I had you hold on to this packet for now? Remember, I had you hold on to this packet? Because this packet has top that have the function notation, which I'm still practicing, which a lot of you don't even want to try because you feel like you don't get it. But you aren't going to ever get it if you don't try. So I'm still writing the function notations for everything. I would encourage you to try this part. This is the challenge part where this should come a little bit easier. Example 4, let the graph of G be a translation 3 units right and it's up. So that's halfway through. Followed by a reflection in the y-axis. Oh, I forgot to answer something. I'm sorry. Example 3, I forgot to answer something. Who knows what I forgot? Oh, this is the rule. Didn't identify the vertex. Oops, forgot to do that. Vertex. This is vertex form. So to identify the vertex, I just have to talk about the translations for the x and the y. What translations are happening for my x? What's inside the parentheses with the x? No. Inside parentheses. Inside parentheses. There isn't anything because I don't have any parentheses. So 0 is the x. What's the y? Negative 3. There we go. Got our vertex. All right, so this one, we're going to do 3 units right, 2 units up to start. So h of x, f of 2 units or 3 units right is going to go on the inside. But what do I do to my 3 if it's going to the right? Okay, so notice how I wrote f of x minus 3. And then we also have to do 2 units up, so that goes on the outside. What does f of x minus 3 mean? Well, that's I knew it was horizontal, so when I read this, I knew to put the opposite in here. But what does f of x minus 3 tell me to do to the function? Can you speak louder, Martin? I cannot hear you.
To basically move the whole, all of them to the right.
On a graph, it would tell me to do that. What does it tell me to do to this equation right here? It's not. Okay, so I need to go over this because I'm not sure if you're thinking it or not saying it. I haven't heard anybody say it. What this means is wherever I see an x, replace it with parenthesis x minus 3. That's what I was looking for. So replace x with x minus 3. That's what this is telling me to do. So I look at this equation, this f of x equation. How many places do I see an x? 2 places. Question? No. I'm going to write, wherever I see an x, I'm going to put a parenthesis and write x minus 3 instead of the x squared. And then I'm going to have a 5. And here's another x, so I'm going to parenthesis x minus 3. So I took out both x's and I put in both parenthesis x minus 3's. So that's not now maybe, I don't know what you meant by, are you going to times it? But multiply, what's the it? I'm sorry. I don't know what the it is. Am I going to multiply it with what? So will I multiply the x minus 3 with the minus 5? Yes, I will do that. What can I do with the x minus 3 squared? Yeah, I could FOIL that. This one, before I go any further, I'm not even done with this, but before I go any further, this one is not in vertex form. We haven't seen any like this yet, but this is what we're going to be working on next, like on block day. Questions that are not in vertex form. So this one's not in vertex form. It's not going to look like any others that we've done. I want to show you what to do, but it's not going to look like any others that we've done because it's not in vertex form. Okay, so followed by usually means let's kind of simplify it from here. So we could x minus 3 times x minus 3, and we could distribute the minus 5. Oh my gosh, I forgot something at the end of this though. That's only the minus 3 part. What did I forget? I forgot my plus 2 at the outside. There you go.
Do you need to do that in the first part or just the last
I don't know what you mean, I'm sorry.
part? Like x squared?
Do I put it over here?
Yeah.
I put it outside of this entire function, so I put it just at the end. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to distribute this negative 5 to the x minus 3, and I'll have minus 5x, and I'll have plus 15, and then my plus 2 just comes down because it was on the outside. So now, remember how we reviewed how to multiply x minus 3 times x minus 3 yesterday? Remember with that? We went over that. So you could either use your square method, or you could actually FOIL it. Remember we reviewed that? Which is why we didn't have time to get on the big ideas yesterday. So I'm going to do first, outer, inner, last, or I'm going to do my box method. Maybe I'll do the box method. And I get x squared minus 6x plus 9 minus 5x plus 15 plus 2. What should I do now? Okay, combine some like terms. I've got an x squared by itself. I've got minus 6 and minus 5x, so minus 11x. And I have 9 plus 15 plus 2. So 9 plus 17 is 26. That's my h of x equation. That's just halfway done. We still have to go back and a reflection in the y-axis. So how do we do a reflection on the y-axis? G of x equals, what do I do to h of x? Is it going to be on the inside or the outside? Is it horizontal or vertical? I've heard from 3 people. Y is a horizontal though. But you're saying y, isn't y vertical? You take out your y-axis and you reflect in the y-axis. We're actually reflecting which direction? Horizontally. So you're right. I'm just looking for more reasons why. Everybody knows, because it's now the second chapter we're doing this, and we're going to do it in every single chapter. This should be the easy stuff, because we're repeating it over and over again. Okay, so this is a reflect on the y-axis. It is on the inside. We write h of negative x. What does that tell me to do? We're going to replace all x's with parenthesis negative x. That's what it means. Replace the x. Parenthesis negative x. So I'm going to take my h equation. And wherever I see an x, I'm going to make it parenthesis negative x squared minus 11 parenthesis negative x plus 26. And then I'll just simplify that. What is negative x squared? X squared. What's negative 11 times negative x? And then 26. Okay, it does say to find the vertex of this, but you don't know how to find the vertex of this yet. So I don't think anybody's going to find the vertex of this. It's not in vertex form. It's not in transformation form. So unless you just like remember a lot of stuff from Algebra 1, probably not going to happen. What? Ooh, yeah. Well, that's part of it, yeah. Mm-hmm. Good, yeah, good job. That's what we're doing next class. It is standard form. Very good. Ooh, it looks like the vertex is. So you're not even going to find that. Oh, actually, the vertex is probably not awful. By the way, we do have ways of finding all this calculator, which I haven't gone over yet. Yeah, the vertex is at negative 5.5, negative 4.25. So you wouldn't have gotten that on your own. Okay. All right. Let graph of G be a vertical strength by a factor of a half, followed by a translation 2 units up of the graph of f of x equals x squared. Try it. You try. Something important for your equation. Something small but important. It's like you accidentally left it out. Well, this is multiplying. So to show multiplication, I put like a parenthesis or something. This one's adding. I could have put brackets here. I didn't put brackets here. I probably should have put brackets here. So just do one step at a time. So what's it going to look like if we're doing 4 units left? It's just one thing. 4 units left. This one, you're just doing one thing. Where are you the 3 from? 8 down, but put it in the number 7 spot. No?
People actually say that.
No? Hey, I have a lot of people that, you guys, why do I put the answers up there? Not for you to stop thinking. I put the answers up there for you so you could try it and then look up and say, ooh, I'm not on the right track, or yes, I'm on the right track. I didn't put it up there for you to just write down. Then you're not thinking, you will not remember it, you will not learn it, you will fail, etc. Don't just copy my number 8 down. Try it on your own. Then go up there and look and see if you did it the same as me. I didn't even finish it because I knew people would just write my stuff in. I just kind of showed some in-between steps. And I didn't even do it the same way I did example 4. I did it a different way too. So if you just copied mine down, I know you came up with that by looking at mine. On the inside or in the first step? Why didn't I put it here? Because it's a second step. I just didn't choose those rather than all at the same time. You can do it as a first step. It's okay. But then people make mistakes if they do it as a first step. I just did that because I copied my previous No. No. And honestly, if you had done number 8 the same way we had done example 4, you would have multiplied all that x plus 4 squared stuff out first. So your GeoS step would not have looked like mine. But I just put that up there just to give an idea of like what we were doing. All right. What? You don't know what you're missing? Look at my answer. No, look at my. Oh, I didn't do vertex yet. But look at my answer and look at your answer. You would write that twice and multiply them. Squared means multiply them together. Like we multiplied them here. Okay. Yes. No, it wasn't. Yeah, you just need to bring it down to add on to this. So you multiply all that together, but then you still have a plus. Oh, no. Yeah. Hold on. That's recording, so. Should probably pause it. Well, first of all, number 7 I didn't finish. The vertex of this would be 0, 2. I didn't finish that one. Okay. This is the part I'm erasing because I probably would not have done it that way. However, you can do it that way. So if you and you did it that way, that's fine. But what I probably would have done now is write 4 and then add on another x plus 4. Oh, I'm sorry. Let me go back. What I had to do up here is this said to translate 4 units left. So every place that I see an x, which is in multiple spots, I had to put in the x plus 4. So I had to do that in multiple places. Now I'm squaring the x plus 4, and I can do that fast because I'm the teacher and I know how to do it. You guys would be using your box method or your FOIL method to do this. When you're squaring. Yeah, there's a shortcut. And then from here, combining like terms, I get x plus x. So Devin, you have these. I'm going to
ones we got yesterday?
Yeah. So now I'm going to do the horizontal, because that's horizontal, I had to put it on the inside, and I had to flip the number to make it 3. So this means wherever I see an x, replace it with 3x. So I'm going to use my h of x equation wherever I see an x. I'm going to make it 3x squared plus 9 times 3x plus 20. And then I'm going to simplify that. That's 9x squared plus 27x plus 20. And this, again, unless you remember lessons from previous course, I have not showed you how to find the vertex for that, so all you can do is find the rule. And we're going to not do the this worksheet. This up here, so I'll be posting that, but it's just 8 questions, and then on top of this worksheet you have, oh, I told you it was in the book, I lied, it's a worksheet. I forgot, originally it was in the book and then I made a worksheet for you guys. Anyway,
Last night's homework on Canvas.
mm-hmm.